With frost seeding season in full swing, I thought it would be a good idea to go over the different kinds of species of clover there are and the benefits and downfalls to each. Now, there are quite a few different species of clovers, but I'm going to stick to the three that are most commonly used in our food plots, and that is Ladino, crimson, and red clovers. So let's start with what I feel, my opinion, is the most popular, and that is Ladino. Ladino clover is extremely attractive to deer and is a great source of protein. A good stand of Ladino can last 3 or 4 seasons, maybe even more if it's well maintained. The downfall to Ladino, though, is that it can take a while to establish itself, and it usually really takes off the following season. So that's why I typically pair Ladino with one of the quicker varieties of clover. And that quicker variety of clover is typically red. Now, like Ladino clover, red clover is a great source of protein, and it can last 2 or 3 years depending on how well it's maintained. It's pretty easy to establish, and it comes in a lot quicker than Ladino. So that's why I like to pair the two together, so you get the quick establishment of red clover while the Ladino is coming in. And it's also very drought tolerant as well. Now, crimson clover and red clover are often confused with each other, and when you name one crimson and the other one red, I mean, no wonder people confuse them. I mean, it means the same damn thing. But crimson clover is an annual clover, and that means you'll have to reseed it every year. Crimson can reseed itself, and it often does, but I don't like to rely on that. So if I'm going to use crimson, I'm going to throw it out every year. Crimson clover is more forgiving than the other clovers, which means that it can tolerate a lot more different soil types, and it's not as finicky. But it is not very cold, drought, or heat tolerant. So you can see why it's an annual. You can see why you have to always throw it back out again. The plus side of that is it is very cheap. If you've got to throw it out every year or throw out more than you typically would, with it being so inexpensive, it's not a bad choice, and it's very nutritious as well. Another benefit to this type of clover is it's often used in what they call plow down clover. I think Frigid Forge, actually that's their brand name of that particular type. So you throw it out early spring, late winter, frost seeded in, let it come up, and it's a great first green up kind of food for your deer and turkey. And then once you're ready to throw out your soybeans or anything like that, you plow it in, and it adds a lot of nitrogen to the soil. So those are 3 of the more popular clover varieties to use on your property, especially when you're frost seeding right now. There are a few other ones. They're not as readily available that I've been able to find. I'm sure if I specifically asked for them, they could get them in. But with Ladino and red and crimson being so readily available, I don't see any need to go into the more specialty ones. Now, clover is a great option for any property, for any food plot, and many people recommend that some percentage of your food plots be in clover at all times. With it being, one of the first things to green up, it's so nutritional, so easy to establish and maintain. You mow it once or twice a year and lime and fertilize according to a soil sample, and you can feed your deer and turkey for many years to come. And now is one of the best times to establish those clover food plots, so make sure you check out my last video on frost seeding clover. Now, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out to know that I'm giving you information that you want in a format that you want. Leave a comment down below for anything you want me to improve on, anything you want me to cover in the future, whatever. Even if you want to just tell me that I suck at life and suck at doing this, leave a comment. It's all fine. And as always, outdoor ladies and gentlemen, stay informed.